The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WACK 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday on WACK 90.1 FM. The living room, casual conversations on serious topics.
It is now 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked onto the true nation station WACK 90.1 FM, where we are culture crazy. First and foremost, let's kick this off as we always do. Must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always give thanks. Secondly, we have to say thank you to those that went before us, and we are not just talking about our ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, because we all know, accept, reiterate, and say that we chest that Columbus line, but also to our brother in music, Tony Prescott, but the P this week stands for
Pillowcase, Aaron.
I thought it was placement.
Placement? Why are you going to placement?
Why are you going to pillowcase?
I'm going to pillowcase because since maybe Thursday night, we've been seeing videos of people parking up their vehicles.
You saw it from Thursday? I saw it on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. It's only Friday morning. In person, you say?
Yeah. No, I was not in the line for any purpose.
Right.
I was driving. The missus and I decided to take a drive to go to Skinner Park to walk.
Okay.
And when we were passing there, we saw a queue of vehicles at the bottom of that hill. I don't remember the hill.
Yeah.
But that street now, the one by licensing office.
Will you look? The loop.
Yeah, that loop there. Yeah, I don't know the name of the street.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that. Yeah. I see a queue of vehicles there, and I found it strange. I was a bit perturbed. And then I realized, wait, this was the queue for Thursday morning's license office?
Yeah. So I guess we could say as the P's this week is about P's and Q's more than anything.
Yeah, boy, that. But now, for those that may not know, there has been an uptick of vehicles rushing to licensing office in Trinidad.
There's an uptick.
An uptick.
What are the optics of this uptick, Aaron?
20 people go in licensing office, right? For whatever reasons, various reasons.
Right.
I don't have figures to say what is the main reason. Yeah, you have no phone to go and check no figures.
What? Where is my phone put, by the way?
It's a good thing you don't have it.
I want to Google things while we're talking.
Where you want to Google?
What might be causing the uptick?
People going to ensure that the chassis numbers and the certified copies are aligned. That their names are the names on the certified copy.
Right.
So that transfers are completed. Persons going for inspection stickers.
Yeah.
And for heavy vehicles, you have to go to licensing office. So that there'll be like vans and trucks and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have to do a transfer, you have to go to licensing office to do the inspection there.
Okay.
As well, to go over the pits. Right? That'd be some of the main reasons. Then there are also those persons going there who have to renew permits and get other information updated.
All right.
So there's a lot of things persons are going there for.
I want to hang my hat on. Actually, no. I think I want to wipe your feet on this. Well, I want to caution. The.
Make up your mind which one you're doing.
You see, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. So maybe I'll just mention it.
Right.
That's
another thing.
Sometimes we take our vehicles to the mechanic or for underwashes and engine washes, etc. Prior to inspections. Of course, you want to present a clean vehicle that could see what it is to do it, etc.
I was going to make a real out of time and joke there. This is not the forum for that.
After? Anyway.
After the show is done, I can tell you.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes I might shake something loose. sometimes
I understand, right?
Yeah,
Continue. Fair game.
I just want to say that it is ironic that a van that was inspected on Friday could shut down Saturday night. It is just ironic.
It is not.
Well then, so is that a regular occurrence?
Brother man, just like with health issues,
Mm-hmm.
certain things come like a thief in the night.
Mm-hmm. Thank God no thieves came that night.
Again, it's the
Anything.
expression that I'm trying to portray here.
Yeah, okay.
Health issues, vehicular issues, sometimes they just pop up. Things just happen.
So the PS will pop up.
You could foresee when a car gonna get flat tire.
Well, it depends, huh? Because you see the pothole coming.
No. We're not talking about the pothole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about just a flat tire. You casually driving down Marabella Main Road and pow! Your tire blow out.
Well, I blow out the front
Or you park your car in your yard tonight and you wake up in the morning and the tire flat.
Well, it depends on how you treat your neighbors, huh? That might have sometimes.
That's a real big thing with it. But that's a whole other conversation.
I mean,
What you understand what I'm saying is certain things you can't foresee.
correct.
So with that being said, you get inspected Friday, you say,
Mm-hmm.
and they shut down Saturday.
Hey.
The shutdown was on all grounds. How come they shut down?
My presumption, not being mechanically inclined, I'm more of a theoretically inclined. I'm a theorist. You know, we could talk some physics if you want. We could talk some language, but when it comes to the tinkering,
Right.
I stopped mashing. Since I'm mashing up telephone and radio and thing when I was small,
Right.
yeah, my mechanical development was stunted.
Okay, cool.
But anyway, yeah, I believe it could have been a fuel pump issue,
Fuel pump is go. That could just go.
right? That's my belief. It was a fuel pump issue.
But the real issue is,
I can't tell you.
you know yet,
I will.
the post-mortem and happen.
The post-mortem didn't happen. There was remedial action, apparently. I just unaware of what the outcome was. All I'm telling you is that you could get inspected Friday and still have a vehicular problem the next day.
You talking the next day, brother, you can inspect it now
Mhm.
and have a vehicular issue at 6:15.
Right. So just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. That not because you drive off the people and them ram and
That mean everything.
you have your sticker means everything is everything. You still have to be vigilant, you still have to be mindful, you still have to do your servicing and your preventative maintenance.
No, but the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
we also live in a society where they want cars to be roadworthy. But do we have roads that are car-worthy?
Right now, those roads could not lift Thor's hammer because they are not worthy. You see what I did there? Because Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, right, only responds to those who are deemed worthy. You know, it had a trick a little.
So that's how Captain America was able to lift it.
Well, yeah. You know, if you're talking MCU, you know, at the end of the day, it existed before there was a Marvel universe. I'm just saying.
The multiverse or the universe?
I talk on Thor's universe, you know, the whole Viking, Norseman mythology.
If you don't know the program you're listening to, this is The Living Room with yours truly, Iran 868. I remind you each and every time, a cult is my code. And I sit here alongside my bro with no fro, a lot of flow, always on the go and in the know.
Ricardo Mitchell, the social sage on the global stage.
And this is The Living Room. It is on the True Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM. Right. You did your word, which was
Yeah, mine was pillowcase.
pillows and P and Q.
Yeah, P's and Q's. Yeah, pillowcase and Q's.
My word this week is position.
I thought it was placement.
Placement, position. And using interchangeably here.
All right.
And it stems from the placement or position among John Cupid Carnival Village. Right? Now, I am a supporter of change.
All right.
But change without buy-in brings unnecessary criticism.
It does create pushback.
Right? And in last week's show, we spoke about buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
If you could recall, if you can't, go back on the Living Room playlist on YouTube. Right? But what I'm saying is, they said that they placed it there and it's better. I have some questions about it. Because one, a bigger place, a bigger space doesn't make things better all the time.
Alright.
Position is what sells. Accessibility is what sells.
So location.
I think we all knew that.
But
That's basic marketing principles. Now, am I happy to see a food village where everything was amalgamated into one place?
Yes. Yes.
But that food village also has entertainment.
You're right.
But from what I saw in the John Cupid Carnival Village last week, there was entertainment, but no food.
Come again?
They had one doubles vendor.
In a food.
No, not the food village, in the entertainment village.
So there's an entertainment village.
But they didn't have a plethora of food options.
So where's the food? Isn't there an existing food village? I really asking. I was not there.
Right, so what took place is the flavor village, which is the food village, is to the front where the carnival village used to be. So if you are coming up Frederick Street, you pass Napa,
Yeah.
you cross the Savannah safely, and as soon as you enter the Savannah,
You cross the
actual road,
Yeah.
calls the Savannah Road. When you cross there and you enter the Savannah, where like what would be the bull track
Yeah.
is right on the left hand side there.
Got you.
Right on the left.
That is, we spoke about that last year.
Right? But right on the left.
The way Trinities give directions. Yeah.
So as soon as you get in, it's right there. And food village. Very nice food village. Right there. Plethora of food options. So I'll be heading back up on the 22nd. Because Patrice Roberts has a concert there.
Okay.
So I'll be heading back up to see Patrice.
Patrice again?
Patrice again.
See what I did there.
Right? Now, there's a plethora of food options and there's a stage set up for entertainment and a kiddie zone. All well and great. I love that. But now you have to go all the way around, cross the stage, and after you cross the stage, where you'll take the road that naturally veers left ahead back to the Savannah itself, to the road.
Yeah.
On the right hand side there is the John Cupid Carnival Village. So basically opposite the paddock.
That is interesting.
So I'm not averse to the improvement that was put forward. What I'm saying is everything could have been amalgamated into one village where there were two columns, the food side, the artisan side, and they all come back into the performance space.
Right.
So the foodies have the space, the artisans have the space, and if you're looking for fete and wine and jam, they have the space there too. And the Savannah is a big place. We could have make it all fit.
You sound like a lot of experience in terms of event layout here.
Somewhat, yeah.
A man start a blush and sit somewhat, you know.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah. You see what I did there, though?
Yeah.
When I see that you have a lot of experience.
Yeah. Even little man. Don't tell Kenny that, man. Kenny's real. Kenny's real, give me a flap for that. But really and truly, I am happy to see that the needs were attended to because the self-consultation was done and the foodies, the food stalls, said that they felt slighted. So they addressed that issue.
Okay.
However, I just felt like everything could have been amalgamated. It's a one big village.
So we're looking at progress as a process then.
Yeah. To quote King Austin, the price of progress is high.
I actually named one of the episodes that a few weeks ago. Right, that progress.
Right.
Yep.
So with that being said, I look forward to see for 2027 what alterations will be made. Because what's done is done essentially.
Okay.
I doubt they're gonna break down our entire village and move.
Let's hope not. But then again, do you think, and this is more of an economical question regarding the logistics, do you think it would make more sense to reposition the village if it will generate more buy-in, greater visitation, encourage expenditure?
For me, personally, this is my personal opinion. This is not the views of Ricardo or WACK or anybody else.
Yeah.
My view is, as it stands now, you are asking people to choose.
Okay.
Can I go to the food village tonight or am I going for entertainment? Because the distance is about 2 kilometers of walking. And we all have to accept, I don't know how else to say this nicely, the people who attend these things are not young people.
From the time you said 2 kilometers, I immediately went back to a couple of my newer experiences in WACK 90.1,
Right.
including International Pan Day last year, where we were in Woodford Square.
Right.
The vast majority of attendees are walking with their chairs, the walking stick that folds out into a little chair.
Gotta get one out. Right? Not the walking stick part, just the one that is full of it. Right? Yeah.
What I'm saying, it is your attendees might not be ambulatory. They might not be in a position where they could go a mile and a half
To tell you.
to Lily.
I love the use. I love that one.
We get on to there, you know.
There we go.
Yeah, I just had my coffee. Yep, in the engraved Ricardo cup. But I also want to talk about coffee for a second. I want to hang my hat on excellent gifting. Excellent gifting, ladies and gentlemen. You see this right here? This Brentwood coffee maker. Wait, all I get this in sugar now? No. Yeah. What I'm saying is, you see this? I will never fail an episode of the Living Room again because now I have coffee. I have real coffee. I have coffee like that. So hanging my hat on great gift givers. Not going to say who it is, but I am very...
It's showing it off. Tell people who give them.
Come on, remember, you're not supposed to let the left hand know what the right hand doing. Yeah. And you can tell by Aaron's insistence that I tell you all who it is. I want to thank the Williamses. for a lovely, lovely gift. I'm excited about being able to utilize it as soon as we finish here. In fact, while I'm editing, I'll probably have myself a cup.
You'll let me know how it turns out.
I will let you know how it turns out. So yeah, people shouldn't have to choose between being entertained and fed.
Now, I will say in defense of the John Cupid Carnival Village,
Yeah.
I was there on the opening night. So I don't know if when I go back at a later date, if there will be more food stores there and those things. But I'm judging based on that one time that I was there.
All right. So I mean, even in terms of like the limbo and those types of things that are coming up, there might be opportunity to see.
And there are a lot of things happening at the John Cupid Carnival Village.
Yeah.
So make sure and head out there and check it out. It's free. People always say that carnival is expensive. I am here today to tell you on the 13th of January 2026 that carnival is not expensive. You could enjoy carnival for next to nothing if you choose the right events.
Okay.
John Cupid Carnival Village. Sunday night they had the semi-finals of the WACK Calypso Queens competition, which was free.
Well, 30 queens.
30 queens performed.
You know.
I don't want to call names and forget any, but
Yeah.
30 queens performed.
30.
3-0. Like Marshall's rum that we don't know if it's still around.
That's anyway.
There's Limbo.
Yeah.
Carnival Monday night, there's Brass Bacchanal. There is, I can't remember all, watch now. When I was watching the screen, I was getting confused. No, because it seemed like every night had something there.
And that's just the John Cupid Village, right?
Yeah.
I've personally been at stick fighting.
Oh yeah, you went and watched people get bust heads.
In Maruga and DB, right?
I think they're going up Constantine Park or something.
It's doing up, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So it's not like there aren't events, and it's not all just fetting.
And you know what else? If you enter Pan, you know what, Cardo? I want to invite the listeners of WACK 90.1 FM, the local listeners.
All
yeah.
So they come through.
Now, we can't tell them come yet.
All right, let's
Because we don't know what a pocket like. So we talk about the local ones.
actively listening.
Jump in your car. Just now, medium and large man, so panorama going and judge in the panyard.
Yeah.
Go out in your community and support a band.
The only amendment I'll make to that is that I'm not telling you to jump in your car. Find your way down there, right? Organize your transport, rent a maxi, use one of the rideshare services. Because maybe I'm not gonna help you pay for whatever you might encounter on the road that day or night.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I'm assuming that everybody within the living room spaces are responsible.
Responsible. Yeah. All right, cool.
Right? Anyhow, there are many ways you could enjoy.
Traffic in Maribel?
No. These days, anyway, hold on a second.
You see that? There's a lines to read between.
Yeah. There are many things that you can do to enjoy Trinidad and Tobago Carnival for little to no cost. Because let's face it, if you only had to go out to some of these things, you might buy food, you might buy something to drink.
Yeah.
You had to put gas in the car, or pay the taxi driver, or if your brethren pick you up, give him a little touch for gas. Because not everybody save $1 on super.
All right now. All right.
But go out and
I don't want it.
what? Wait.
It wasn't me who was turning up.
No, I wasn't.
You sure?
But since you're guilty,
Anyway, but no wanted by my phone.
anyhow. But there are ways for you to go out and enjoy the culture of Trinidad and Tobago, the Carnival of Trinidad and Tobago, for little to no cost. And if you don't want to go out because you are not, what's the word they use just now?
Ambulatory.
Exactly, that big word. You could look at WACK 90.1 FM, where we bring,
Okay, go ahead.
no, where we bring the culture of Trinidad and Tobago to you. Right?
In your living room.
In your living room, or bedroom, or
Or kitchen. Or taxi.
wherever.
Workplace. I went into a store in South Park the other day, and I hear a voice, and I'm like, did I Tony? Hey, that is WACK. Well, look at us. And then I was actually contemplating going on in the station and, shouting out the store. But
But you can do that now.
I could do that now. I can't remember the name of the store.
Oh, well, then you
I just hey, to you store that playing WACK, big up you. Is that what the young people saying?
I don't think they say that anymore.
All right, bro.
But you mentioned before about hanging hats. There's something I want to hang my hat on. And it's something that if you are a listener of the living room, you would know how much, I can't speak for Ricardo, but how much I have asked for this from any sitting government in Trinidad and Tobago. Paternity leave. The government, the administration,
Yeah.
and why I say administration, it's because the administration and the opposition make up the government of Trinidad and Tobago, right? The administration would have held a press conference on Sunday, and at that press conference, they announced the revision of the Severance Act.
Okay.
They announced the revision of maternity benefits as well as paternity benefits and the inclusion of a standardized paternity leave within our country. And for me, probably the establishment of paternity leave as a principle in Trinidad and Tobago is a huge step forward.
Yeah, that is progressive.
So I'm hanging my hat on that because as much as we are critical, we also have to commend.
Yeah. We never shied away from critique, but we've also never shied away from giving kudos where kudos are due.
Correct. So I'm giving my kudos by hanging my hat on the sitting administration in Trinidad and Tobago for not only just the revision to the Severance Act and Retrenchment Act, which is a huge thing on its own, which we'll probably have to get into at a later date.
Sure.
When the actual written dossier is given.
So we have data to review to specifics.
Just the establishment and even the conversation surrounding paternity leave now becoming a standardized issue. I love that, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, that is a big deal. Having to rely on the generosity of your employer to grant you a day or a half day,
But here now,
or to give you a little flexibility with your schedule, is good.
right, that's a big thing for me.
Yeah, that's not bad, man.
So I'm really proud to hear that, and I'm proud to say that I could come on air and acknowledge and commend that action.
I want to wipe my feet on something very touchy. I am going to be as sensitive and sensible about this statement that I'm going to make as I possibly can, but I'm going to make it anyway. Your passion for something should not cost you your life. Your interest in something should not jeopardize your well-being. I'm saying that because, and let me not speak about the issue, let me speak about myself and my experiences and my observances. I am one of those people who comfortable going to the beach eating a sandwich, dipping my toes in the sand, and calling it a day. There are other people who would prefer to do more adventurous things. Snorkeling, boarding, banana boat, inflatable skipping, lovely stuff, jet skiing and that type of thing. People like adventure, maybe a little more than I do. I am what you call risk averse. There are people who like drag racing. I have no problems looking at a race on my phone. Some people want to smell rubber burning and, you know, the fumes from the various forms of gasoline and boosters. Some people want more of a rich experience that I might want. Lives can be lost when things aren't done either properly or even if done properly, if they're not done mindfully. There are people who enjoy things, and I'm not telling people to not do what you enjoy, but I am begging you to do everything possible to make sure that your pleasure does not cost you your potential, your purpose, your 3 points. I will end my statement with this, because I don't want to speak about it, but I'm going to speak to it. I have always said it. As much as I've enjoyed kayaking through the Nariva Swamp, or going to the Asarite Center, or, you know, going down the islands on boats and lovely outdoor things, I refuse to hike during the rainy season. And even if it is not the rainy season, if it's drizzling, I'm not going. I refuse to hike in bad weather. My personal choice, with the knowledge that I gained doing advanced level geography, is that, you see, riverine flooding, it is a very, very tricky thing, particularly in the hills. I do not hike in bad weather. There are people who like hiking and hashing and all of these things. Great, all well and good. But ladies and gentlemen, there's a point at which you have to start making sound decisions so that you could continue enjoying the things that you enjoy. And before anybody accuses me of victim blaming and shaming, I'm saying that even the parties responsible for facilitating these events have a responsibility to make sure that they use sound judgment. And I am dropping my mic and I'm shaking the dust off my feet with that one. I am good there. But exercise sound judgment even in the pursuit of your passion. It is a lot of the times, sometimes it is not worth what it will cost. And I good there. You can't stay too quiet for too long here. Okay.
I not touching that with a stick, a curtain rod, a cookie broom, a cobweb broom, a 40-foot trailer.
Right.
I'm staying far from that.
Not even them trussing.
No, not even not trusting, nothing. However, I do agree that safety, ultimately, as we said last week, boils back down to you. Safety is your priority. And though some people may not be as educated on others, on certain things, you should know what risk you can and cannot take. Just like how when the susu was a thing during COVID,
The blue swimming.
and things was blue swimming, it was up to you if you wanted to take that risk or not.
Yeah.
So, as the young people say, don't play with your 3 points. Right? Also, I will come back to this. If somebody within an event or activity says, I am comfortable, I don't want to do it, leave them alone.
You see that gas up, chain up, peer pressure thing? We're supposed to be a little more advanced than that by now. And that includes even somebody saying that they don't want to take a drink.
I'm not going to say that. No, the catch in it is, everybody's supposed to know their limits or their boundaries of what they want to or don't want to do. And you as a friend, you as somebody who's there, supposed to respect those boundaries.
Right.
So if I tell Card, I come to check Card one, Card will tell me, boy, like play some all fours now. And I watching my time like, boy, here we go, Ricardo. I like a good game of all fours, you know. But as a man, do I have the time for the all fours now? Was one game, boy. Then one game goes into best of 3. And if I get my tail cut, best of 5. I'd get back at this.
Although my plan is I will beat you so bad in the first game you wouldn't want to play again. That's just. But anyway, this is me actively listening. Go ahead, here.
Father, help your children.
Yep.
Please. Yeah. Right? But really and truly, guys, you have to look at it from the angle that respect people's boundaries. If I say I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it. Cardo, I don't like Barca. I'm not watching a Barca game. I don't want to do it.
Even a thrilling Classico final that ended 3-2. A 5-goal fiesta, Aaron.
Right, I don't watch football anymore.
Yeah, need them. Yeah, I see the game, you know.
We don't.
All I know is the score. All I know is the score.
You know, it's frustrating. Imagine we living in a world where if as a manager or a head coach or whatever title it is, you hold your bosses accountable, all of a sudden you're getting parted by mutual consent. But other teams could have coaches that can win a series in 2 years and he's still the head coach. You shouldn't have started.
Is Wrexham you talking about it? That's in your side.
No, Wrexham has won back-to-back promotions. Right. Wrexham is in the championship right now, sitting 4 points off the automatic promotion places.
Yeah, you could pick a winner when you're ready, but
Exactly.
what was stopping you all the time?
Clearly, blindness and loyalty. I need to be less loyal.
Wow, that might make a good soaker, you know.
What? No, brother, man. Nobody should be... Fellas, people, loyalty is important in life. Loyalty is very important. Remember that. Loyalty translates to trust.
You see what he say?
What's up?
No, I'm supporting it.
Oh, loyalty translates to trust. And without trust, it ain't gonna work. Loyalty is important. Be loyal to your football team, your cricket team, whoever it may be. Your wife, your husband, be loyal.
Hold on, big up Luke. Big up Luke.
Who the ultimate bandwagon is?
Now, and going straight from Italian football to Barca is the greatest club in the world. Big up Luke. You know what? I'm actually going to cut this out. I put here.
Yeah, boy, but nah.
I don't know if you was listening before, but you might start listening now. That's what we can do. We go listeners one by one.
One by one, yeah.
One by one.
And 2 by 2. And you call them by the number. Fun fact yesterday was the elections in Tobago. This episode would have been recorded before the results were posted.
Deliberately.
Yeah, so whoever won in Tobago, congratulations.
Big up you.
Yeah, big up all that.
Yeah, because
Run Tobago well.
the news that came out of some of the campaigning,
Yeah, boy,
poorly.
Sunday was a bad day for Tobago, boy.
Reflected poorly.
First time in my life I've ever seen something like that in Tobago.
Tobago.
You know what? This week I do something a little different now.
This is me trusting, because you know, if you don't trust, you can't walk. Well, I would say without trust you go bust, but that's alright. Without trust you go walk. So you go ahead.
Like do something a little different.
I'm right there with you.
Now we are into the 2nd week of January.
Yes.
We would have crowned our 2nd Panorama champions this past weekend. Congratulations to Mr. Duvon Stewart and OJ Richards. They are Rangers for the South Band. That is a band from Sudama Trace in Superior.
Hey.
And Uptown Fascinators. Yeah, the 2 champions.
I like them names.
A second consecutive year of ties in the small band Panorama.
Well, that is encouraging.
Yeah. So to Uptown Fascinators and the South Band from Superior, congratulations to both of you, our 2nd Panorama champ.
You're well versed on Superior. Use this last one.
Brother man, it is not Superior news, it is national news.
You know what, you're right, because Superior is a part of the nation. I shouldn't single them out like that.
Anyhow, so our 2nd Panorama champions have been crowned. We look forward now to see who wins the school's panorama at the various levels from primary, secondary, and then the youth panorama categories, the medium band, and then the large bands.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Good.
And then pretty soon we'll be moving into the calypso aspect of competition.
Okay.
Right? So we are looking forward to the competition aspect of Carnival.
All right. I want to plug in a way that the schools themselves might not be able to. Guys, sponsorship can be a very, very ticklish thing when you're doing cultural events and when you're doing events that involve children. When you report to ministries, etc., you might not necessarily be allowed to solicit funds in some of the conventional ways. I would suggest that you reach out to your old schools or even the schools within a community and find out what needs they have that you might be able to sponsor a couple cases of water or transport or even make a financial donation. What I'm saying is don't wait to be asked. Right? Within a community, ask how you could help. All right? These schools, you might have a business that might be able to print some t-shirts or a banner or something. Find out how you could help. Because they might not be in a position to ask even if they need.
And not just that, not all help has to be monetary.
That's right.
If you have a van, help with a little transport.
Yeah. Even dropping off the kids after a practice or something like that.
If you cook, well, they don't need dietary restrictions surrounding children these days, and if they'll eat pilau and all them different things. But I'm just saying, pick up a pilau, drop it for them when they're practicing.
Pilau is one of the it's not a foundation, but it was definitely one of the reinforced pillars of our friendship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We were doing making costumes with Kalicharan.
Yeah.
In camp and the J Crew, Potbelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring up a pilau there, and I was like, this is why I tell Aaron Pauline. This is why I tell Aaron Pauline.
And the pilau done, so everything has done.
Pilau done, friend done.
Yeah, boy, that's why we're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
If there's one meal I have not mastered cooking, is pilau.
You know who make a real mean pilau? Who? Lando.
Serious?
Yeah. Lando had the hand. I'm a breakfast champion.
Yeah, tuna sandwich, that is you.
I will astonish you with a basic breakfast.
A tuna sandwich.
You understand?
You know who else is our breakfast champion?
Who the?
Blackie.
Sick. I know I like him, man.
Yeah.
That's a sound fella, because it's the most important meal of the day. Actually, the next meal is the most important one. But anyway, speaking of
Speaking of that, I'm really hungry.
I know you're hungry. I hearing it from here. I gotta edit that out. One of the things I wanted to do using the space that we're using now is literature. Last week we had We Like It So.
No, just no, you're promoting this incorrectly. Just now. You gotta sit up.
Alright, you go ahead, you do your thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feathers and masqueraders, children of all ages, I would like to introduce you, the listeners, on The Living Room, to one of the greatest books ever penned coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. And no, I'm not talking about The Year in San Fernando by Michael Anthony.
Excellent.
Or Green Days by the River.
Also,
I forget the book that I got down in Cedros today, right? I am going to introduce you to the greatest book ever written, the Naparima Cookbook. And the reason why I say this is the greatest book ever written, my mother is a very skilled person in the kitchen, very skilled.
Yep.
Right? When I moved out from home, how much ever years ago, I was dependent on going back home for food. And for the first Christmas outside of home, one of the best gifts I got is this book. It is still in my kitchen. Well, not my kitchen anymore. In our kitchen. Right?
Yeah.
It is still in the kitchen. There. And I refer to it anytime there's a recipe I want to try that I don't know how to cook. So I'm just saying, if you want to learn about the meals of Trinidad and Tobago and how to make the meals of Trinidad and Tobago, this is the book for you. It is called The Multicultural Cuisine of Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean, Naparima Girls High School Cookbook. Ricardo, I think I have a version a little after mine. No,
After or before?
you got no after.
Yeah.
This is it. This is a coffee.
I had another version.
Hard.
There was a point I had 3 of those.
Serious.
Yeah.
This is
Call that the Caribbean Kitchen Bible.
this is it very.
Yep. It is. Bachelors,
Please. You can't buy food all the time. You could, but you sure could. But shouldn't.
one of the reasons I decided to highlight
The next race we could see the labels to
this production value here.
placement. Yeah, placement.
Because I'm gonna cut this out and send it for Miss Woodsby and them.
So that they could send us 2 copies of the book, yeah.
You know what? I could really do that first copy, and
Send us the copies.
maybe we could even do a giveaway or something.
Yeah, if you don't want to give us to give them.
Yeah. But again, we going after the viewers, we're going after the listeners. Naps, heart. There's more like a Zabaka than a heart, but whatever. All the young people, let's do it now. Anyway, yeah. So one of the reasons I was prompted to present a cookbook is because of a report last week that a very, very, very popular fast food franchise in Trinidad and Tobago has reported declining sales.
Yeah. According to someone on X, formerly known as Twitter, once you see that establishment sales declining, you know the economy bad.
Right.
So things bad.
What I'm saying is, while we're smiling and gipping, there is actually an economic principle that says certain consumables are indicators of
Yeah, correct.
how well the market is doing. And believe it or not,
In Trinidad and Tobago,
is
that establishment.
that establishment, that record book
Yeah, bro.
establishment.
And you actually have 2 record holders. Well, many record holders in Trinidad. Huh?
We do.
But that one is a special one, bro.
Yeah. So
You ever see the sign in the airport when you're coming home?
or home of the
Yeah.
serious, yeah.
We the only place.
Actually, to be honest with you, my eyes be closed on descent because
No, I'm talking about the line. When they come in the last point before customs, when they're in the line, that sometimes is stretching back to the currency place. Yeah. They have a sign, home of the sandwich.
But what I'm saying is, I can't remember if it was Macy's or one of them, but they could tell how well the economy was doing by the sale of jockey shorts and lipstick. Alright?
Jockey shorts.
Yeah, plain talk, bad manners. Even something as being able to afford something like a
Jockey shorts.
particular shade of lipstick and being able to just purchase one as part of a casual shopping was an indicator of how much liquid
Cash.
how much expendable
Jockey shorts.
and jockey shorts, because fellas 2026
Jockey shorts.
2026
Boxer briefs.
serious,
On the way.
you telling people that not to wear jockey shorts and to wear boxer briefs?
No problem, man. I never. You can't say that.
Or you just throwing out nouns?
Yeah.
You just throwing out nouns?
Boxers.
You just throwing out nouns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lingerie.
That's not my business. Negligee.
Legacy. Nah, but really and truly, there are economic
Indicators.
that things are bad, and in Trinidad and Tobago, unfortunately, that happens to be one. It could also be the New Year turn of healthy choices as well. Huh?
You know what, you're right. So let's give it another.
Let's give it until after Carnival,
Yeah.
because we all know everybody going there at some point during the Carnival season.
I was there yesterday. You know what, Ian? Yeah, that's not the whole cookbook, because let me tell you something that's pretty stupid. What is pretty stupid, Aaron? Having kiosks that's supposed to advance the efficiency and things taking longer than before.
Don't get me started.
That is stupid.
Don't get me started. I went to that establishment. That will remain unnamed.
I'm talking about all, just in case any of them decide at some point in time they want to come on the program, sponsored, and explain to us how better these systems could work.
Right? I went to that. I spoke specifically about that establishment. I went to the one close to WACK and walked to the top of the line to purchase an item. When I got to the top of it, and I was like, did you go by the kiosk? I said, no, because I'm in the line. Well, you have to go by the kiosk. And that's the attitude I got.
Right.
Which immediately turned me off.
Yeah.
But I was hungry. And I said, let me go by the kiosk. When I reached by the kiosk, I was going to pay with cash. So then I was like, I was paying with cash. Oh, you could have seen that.
Yeah.
So then I had to go back in the line. Got the food. Obviously, I was hungry. Anything that tastes good when you're hungry. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I will not be supporting that establishment for a while. Next month, I went back. I know they are my once a month establishment.
I not even once a month for them, to be honest with you.
No, use once a week.
No, sir.
I will
let somebody else buy it, you know.
But you buy it yesterday?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was gifted a meal.
Just making sure.
And out of gratitude,
Yes,
I accepted.
no, I would want to say no.
It was delicious. My challenge is that I prefer the flavor.
Anyhow, that's a whole other conversation.
I would love to get... Anyways, I'm just sending out some
Yeah, we gotta change.
some pictures, some letters, some invitations.
But really and truly, guys, the economy of Trinidad and Tobago is getting harder. The opportunities are getting tighter. Some would say less accessible. I beg to differ, however, because there are opportunities out there for people.
Yeah, they are.
You just have to be able to sift through the ones that may not be for you. Or sometimes, and this is not me saying lower your standards, you may have to enter lower than you may want to and work your way up.
Yeah. Or create, get your foot in the door, and then work your way into the room, and then work your way to the table.
And then up the stairs. Right?
I'm with you.
Right? So whatever it is, there are opportunities out there. So when I hear a young person saying they have no opportunities, sometimes I watch them like, are you even looking?
No, admittedly, it is harder now.
Yeah.
And in the absence of the experience that things can work out, the only experience would be that things don't work out.
Correct.
So a lot of the frustration
Is valid.
it is valid. Resilience is something that is instilled or experienced. You don't just, actually no, that's not true. Some people wake up with just this never quit mentality. Others need to be encouraged into having enough experience to survive things not going the way. So I'm not trashing.
I'm gonna be that guy.
Yeah, I'm not trashing those who don't handle the frustration.
Nah, because I'm not gonna say that. I always look at it that for you to be able to handle tough situations and uncomfortable situations well, you need to be put into uncomfortable situations. No amount of reading could prepare you for some uncomfortable situations.
I cannot disagree. And
so let me juxtapose before you state your disagreement. You could go to broadcasting school and learn everything on how to operate a board. And when I say a board, I mean a switchboard in a radio station.
Yeah.
You get there on your first shift and one of the buttons on the board not working.
Yeah.
You are going to panic because I have always learned press,
Yeah.
flick, and it works. Right. But when you get there, is wiggle, play, toggle, and then you get.
Right.
You go in and panic any moment because it is not what you have learned.
And
however, over time, when you experience faulty equipment in places, oh well, now all I have to do is, instead of doing that, I could think this. You learn how to troubleshoot any situations or be light on your feet in your decisions, which will make things work better.
Aaron, I'm going to thoroughly upset you with my contribution. I'm not going to call it a rebuttal because I do agree to a point, but I know I'm going to trigger you with this one. You were forewarned. I would say that
I don't like forewarning.
in adequate training, even those types of situations will be presented. Now, there is technical training and then there is experiential training. The experiential training is something that we as a society developed, mentorship programs and internships.
As the young people say, pause.
and on-the-job training.
I know one say pause. You know what you are talking about there, Ricardo? On the job training and practical assessments and training or practicum programs. So you are asking for proper educational exposure in places where sometimes there is not.
Right. So, and here comes the triggering part. In the places where these types of trainings are implemented, they are often misappropriated and turned into cheap or free entry-level labor, as opposed to them being designated training programs. What I'm saying is, if I'm taught that sometimes you might meet equipment that does this, that, or the other, then when it happens to you, it is not the first time you've encountered such. But if I'm brought into a program as an intern or a trainee and then thrust into work absent training because I'm cheaper than actually hiring people or moving somebody within your system to function, then what you get is a lot of people who are willing to learn and will have to learn by trial by fire. It's not that there isn't adequate training available. Systems abuse training programs. Systems abuse training programs.
Touché.
You're doing very well to maintain your poker face.
Touché.
I'm just saying, out here, right? We need to stop asking for people who have experience when given the opportunities to give them real experience and teach them how to function. We just use them as summer labor.
Touché.
Right? We just use them as cheap contract work where from the time they ask a question or stand up for any kind of standard or make a suggestion that might actually improve your system, you see that they're giving trouble, they're difficult to work with, and you just say, cross them off and you call somebody else out to milk them for 3 months.
Touché.
What I'm saying is, I want to know if as you, somebody who's going through our training program, what have you been trained in at the end of your stint versus your contract just being renewed because you're cheaper than bringing somebody on full staff.
And most times they're even doing that, they'll just phase you out and then bring in somebody else from a program akin to where you were a part of.
So we can't say
Touché.
that
Touché.
no amount of. The right amount will.
Touché.
All you will have to process is your feelings in the moment if something new occurs versus being trained to deal with things occurring anyway, because they always will.
And you know, that brings it back to what I started with tonight in terms of being open to change and open to progress. You have to be able to discern progress and the price of progress and understand that no matter how you want progress to be made, there is a price to it.
Yes.
Change comes with uncomfortable issues and uncomfortable moments.
What you know?
What's up?
No. This is me being fully supportive.
Oh, so with all that being said, if you want to gain that job, you may need to make a change in the mentality of you're going to expect that proper salary or the salary that you want. So let me go even further. When they go to that interview and they ask you what salary you expect, and you say, I expect $15,000 for this position. And then they come and said, you know what? No, it's 8. At that point, you now have to question yourself and ask, could I live on 8, right? Is 8 sufficient for me? And then you could counter that and say, okay, I could take the 8, but is there opportunities for advancement within the organization? Accept, but still question. Question, but be respectful in your questions. If you get the answer that you don't want, be respectful in your responses. And apply that to the overarching principle of what is taking place in our country today. There are many things that are happening which you may not agree with, which I may not agree with. But we always have to maintain a level of respect. You can't jump out yourself and call people names, cast aspersions on people's
car.
character and not expect there to be repercussions. And then when there are repercussions, don't ask for extensions of deadlines.
Where you going? So come down from there, please.
No, what,
You're perilously close to the edge.
but all I'm saying is
Mhm.
be respectful.
Yeah.
And I think as a society in Trinidad and Tobago, online, we have lost respect.
Yeah, we're too disrespectful.
I'm not agreeing that we are a lawless society, because for me, that's a disrespectful comment.
Mm-hmm.
But I will agree that there are times when we try to deflect certain aspects of the law and take privileges in things that we should not take privileges on. For me, and I'm going to end with this, tint.
Mm-hmm.
If there's an issue with tint in this country, then they should stop importing tint at a certain percentage of the customs process. No, understand what I'm saying?
I hear you, but there are people who are just going to put 2 layers or 3 layers in it.
Right, well then do that and pay 2 and 3 times the price to do it.
I get you.
Make it unattractive.
So you advocate for them raising fines?
No.
But you just say make it unattractive.
I'm talking about don't let be able for me to go and get G5 tint for the same price that I should be getting the legal tint limit.
You know, that is why they're raising fines and duty taxes on things like alcohol and gambling machines and all those things,
Yeah.
right? To make them
Unattractive, yeah.
Okay.
However, again, the price of progress. Don't come and do it now and hit my 100% increase. Because you have to remember, businesses operate on certain things. If I own a bar and you hit me 100% increase on something, you think I'm going to accept 100% increase and not pass on that to a customer? I'm just asking. So if you tell me over the next 5 years, I want to increase $100 to $200, but here we're going on. I'm going to increase it by 20% per year. Isn't that more palatable and it wouldn't get greater buy-in than just saying, take 100% now?
Because that way, you know, in 5 years, this is what they're going to cost. You'll be able to adjust accordingly. And not only that, too, I would have hit you a 20% increase for the next 5 years, because that's going to add up to more than 100% increase one time.
Think about it.
That's what you do there.
The maths is maths.
The maths is maths.
Right? But all I'm saying is, you may not agree with everything, but you need to disagree respectfully.
I could take that.
Right? With that being said, this has been The Living Room with yours truly here on 868. I remind each and every time that culture is my code. And I don't think it have any shows on Friday.
Well, I would have checked the calendar, but
No, I didn't look it before.
About my phone.
I didn't
No,
look it.
Nothing Friday.
I don't think it has anything on Friday.
You sure?
If it does, I'm happy.
All right, well, we'll see.
If it does, I hear that.
Yeah. You glad?
Yeah, grand.
I want to keep my lights on.
No, me, not like that. I have no show. I have a show because I want how to work.
You're mumbling, but
Yeah.
you're mumbling on the radio, and then I'm gonna get both for audio. Well, let's see what is happening. Anyway, so yeah, you finish or love is currency?
I do, yeah. Love is a currency. So spend some today. Let somebody really love that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage on the global stage with 10 city intentions. Right? Guys, anyway, I went on a whole thing about it earlier. The hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe.
And don't use styrofoam.
Yeah, boy. You know what the letter wardens? Why they raising all them illegal dumping and all them kind of... Anyway, they could get to that.
They're going to my charge for booing just now. Keep it locked, Mr. Desmond is up next on the True Nation station with the Kaiso or Kaiso City, or he just gonna play Kaiso, or just tune into Desmond. I don't know what he calling it, bro.
Uncle Dezu.
Keep it locked.